Welcome to Author Audience, where I'm on a mission to help you reach more people with your message. It's time to let your light shine. Today, I'm rolling out the red carpet and inviting you into my community for a behind-the-scenes look at what's working for authors just like you. My name is Shelley Hitz, and I'm the owner of Author Audience Academy. The most rewarding part of my job is helping others get results and reach their goals. So in this episode, I want to position the spotlight on one of my members, Teresa Mills. Welcome, Teresa.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Teresa is a mother of 4 and grandmother of 2. She loves incorporating learning activities into travel to build on her kids' and grandkids' life experience. And so, how many books have you published now, Teresa?
I've published 8 books so far.
8 books. And you can find out more about her and her books, especially if you have kids or grandkids, at kidfriendlyfamilyvacations.com. So for this week's Center Stage Spotlight training, I'm going to have Teresa share a specific success strategy in our interview together. And I'm excited to hear more from her all about transitioning from Kindle-only books to print books. Her motto is, don't be afraid to go past Kindle books and into print. So Teresa, tell us a little bit of how you even got started in this whole niche of kid-friendly family vacation.
You know, as our children were growing up, we have one older child, but then we have 3 kind of clustered together, a little bit younger than the older child. I don't know. We just never seemed to be afraid to just take them anywhere we wanted to go. We just used the motto is just to sort of sling them across our shoulders and run out the door.
Yeah.
And my husband said to me one time, he says, we're not just traveling with our kids, we're building their life experiences. And so I even chose that as my publishing company name, Life Experiences Publishing.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah, just kind of coin a phrase there. But I don't know, as we started traveling, it just seemed like a way to incorporate this into a website to share our experiences. So it started as a website, as a blog many, many years ago.
What year? Do you remember?
2008.
Awesome.
So it's been 10 years. That's crazy.
A decade.
I think that's when it was. Anyway, so I don't know. It never dawned on me though to put the information into book, but that seems to be a little more popular way to pass along this information, even than searching on a website and searching for the information. So
yeah. So when did you first start to do the Kindle books?
I did my first Kindle book in 2015, and that was part of a challenge in another group that I was in. But I just thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I had actually looked into it before, but I guess let fear kind of get in my way, and I just I don't need to do that. I don't need to try that, and I fall prey to that a lot. So I got it out there, got it going, and then didn't really do another one for a while. Actually, that was part of another challenge, but at the same time is when I met you and started learning a little more about the time you were putting Author Audience Academy together.
Yeah, 2015.
And just getting started with that. So I had already published the first book before I joined.
Yeah, so, you probably had a lot of content. Like if you started your website and your blog in 2008, you probably had a lot of content to draw from. Did you find yourself writing brand new or repurposing?
I repurposed a lot, but a lot of the information when I started digging in and wanted to write I wanted to write something specific about Washington, D.C., I found that I didn't have a lot of just nitty-gritty information that kids might enjoy. The blog was written more towards parents, towards these are some things that we did. These are some tips that when we traveled with our children. So for this particular series, I needed a little more fun fact type information.
Yeah, so it was different. And then how many Kindle books did you publish before you started getting into print?
I think that I had 3 before I tried the print. And I still remember, I think you actually posted something on, well, first, let me back up just a minute. I'll tell you, I was getting a little bit discouraged because I just wasn't really selling a lot of copies.
Okay.
So, I may have even had 4 before I got into the print. But I was getting a little bit discouraged, so I did some social media posting that got a little traction there. But still, I just wasn't seeing a whole lot. And one day you posted in our Facebook group, would anybody be interested in a Kindle to print challenge?
Yeah.
I said, me.
Yeah.
So I needed that hand holding to push forward into that. That was.
Yeah. So we did the Kindle to print challenge, and it was all about like those that, because Kindle can be a very simple, easy, not always simple, but, somewhat of an easier entryway into books. And so anyone who had a Kindle book, let's go ahead and take that same book and now let's do the steps to format it and to get it into print. So now you have 8 books. Are all 8 books Kindle and print?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So you have like 16 different versions.
Well, that's right. After I did the first one in print, I even found myself at dinner one night with my husband and my daughter, one of my daughters, and I said, this took off pretty well after it went to print. I think I should just stop, and all the ones that I have now in Kindle, I'm just going to put in print before I do another one.
Mm-hmm. I remember you doing that and kind of going back, getting all the books in print. So what did you notice? Like, okay, you took that step. There was some fear, even first doing the Kindle, but then the print. And once you went through the steps and you got your book in print, what did you start noticing with your books and your sales?
The first one was, "Hey kids, let's visit Washington, D.C." And when I put it out into print format, I was selling 10 times as many in print as I was in.
Wow.
It's stark.
Yeah.
Differences.
It's not like, it's just a little bit, it's like 10 times as much.
It was big. And it's even more than that now. I do right now offer the Kindle books. If you purchase a copy of the print book, you can get the Kindle book free. So I do see some Kindle books like that, but there's very few just direct Kindle.
So at this point, how many books have you sold? Do you know?
Yes, Kindle and print combined is about 4,800.
Wow, that's great, especially for independent authors. They say so many, like I don't even remember the statistic, 80% or not. Some big statistic don't sell more than 100.
Yeah, I'm just thrilled with it.
Yeah. And you said most of them are print sales, right?
They are. And when you think about it, I guess I'd like to say that I put a lot of planning into place and that, I had planned this from the very beginning, but the books are 5 by 8. So they're a great size to, slide into a purse or in a backpack.
Yeah, that is great.
So I think that's a big selling point.
Yeah.
And
so
having the books with you as you're, out and about.
So with your books, it does lend well to print because having a Kindle, you can still have your phone and you can still be looking at it. But there's something about having that print copy, and looking through it and having it as a reference. I find that with my book, Self-Publishing Books 101, the Kindle book's permanently free. So it's out there for free, but it's still one of my best sellers because people want the hard copy book and to write in it and to have it as a reference. And so everyone's books and topics are different. And those of you listening, you may or may not have the same exact results as Teresa, but a lot of times you don't know until you do it. You don't know
You don't know until you try.
And to say, okay, let's see. I think it's just a really great example and a case study of like taking that next step, taking that feels scary in some ways to you, and walking through that fear into action and seeing what happens. And recently, you were telling me a little bit about what you've been doing just to try to promote your books and some of the results you've been having. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Oh, sure. I always, of course, mine are cyclic, my sales with, right before spring break and right before Christmas and right before summer vacation are bigger sales. And so, right now I expected, but at first I expected to be in a little bit of a slump right now with school starting to be in August. So what I decided to do was just take each book and promote it once a month. Social media, do a Kindle free giveaway. And actually, a good case study on that was my Hey Kids, Let's Visit New York City. I had republished that book with a new personal, an ISBN that I purchased instead. At the time that I printed it initially, CreateSpace gave you the $10 ISBN, but I wanted to use my own. So when I republished that book, it took a little bit of a dip in sales. And so I just did the free promo and posted it on social media and sent out a email to my list, and it kicked back up to its original sales.
Yeah, that's
volume.
Awesome. And do you have a really big email list and social media following right now?
I don't. I don't have a real big list. I work on it, but that hasn't been the number one thing that I've been working on.
Yeah. So the promotion, it wasn't necessarily just driven by what you were doing on your own, but you still did that. But having that Kindle book for free, and especially, I think this is especially important if your book lends itself to the print book selling well. So for your particular case, the print books sell really well. So if they get the Kindle book free and then they're like, ooh, I want to have this to carry with me. I want to buy this to have as a reference or to have with me, then you could see your print sales increasing. But then also other books in the series, it gets cross promotion. That's a really powerful thing as well. And so I remember you said, yeah, I just did a free promotion and posted a little bit, and then my sales were back up again. And
back up?
Yeah.
Well, like you mentioned, it sort of got back into Amazon's algorithm.
Yeah. And, that is something we can impact. And I think sometimes as authors, it's easy to feel like, oh, there's nothing I can do. It's just, feel discouraged and to want to see something happen. And so I think this would just be encouraging for those of you listening. Maybe it's time to try a promotion again or a free KDP promotion or to do something. What do you have to lose? There's
That's right.
A lot of times I'll say marketing is testing, tracking, and tweaking. So it's trial and error. And a lot of times you don't know, again, until you do it. If there's not a huge risk involved, I think sometimes we just get paralyzed and not knowing what to do or feeling it won't make a difference anyways. And everyone's results are different, but I just love having those results. So, as we wind down and as we kind of come to a close, do you have like a take action tip or a piece of advice for the authors that might be listening?
I say if you have a Kindle book that you've already published or multiple Kindle books that you've already published, you've already taken that step, take a look, pick one, just give it a try. If you're an Author Audience Academy member, it used to be called the Kindle to Print Challenge, and now it's in the publish module, just a lesson for us. I'm so glad I did, and once again, I could probably write the book on being paralyzed by fear.
Oh man.
Because I talked myself out of it, and I'm so glad I tried it.
So what do you think helped you get over that hump? Do you have any advice on that, getting over the fear factor?
Well, I think for me, it was having the lesson there. It was having here's some steps, some solid steps that I can follow and get this done. It made it easy to move forward.
Yeah.
That worked for me.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of step-by-step training inside Author Audience Academy, not only for publishing, but for marketing. And so if you are interested in joining us, definitely check it out at authoraudienceacademy.com. I also have a ton of free training at trainingauthors.com/free. You can take some of my free webinars, check it out. And we would love to have you join us. Thank you so much, Teresa, for sharing a little bit about your story, where you're at. What's ahead for you?
Well, I have 2 books in the work right now. I'm plugging away on those. We're going to visit Chicago and Rome.
Oh, fun. One here in the U.S., one overseas. And those of you listening, if you have kids or grandkids and you love to travel, check out Teresa's website and her books. It's at kidfriendlyfamilyvacations.com, and definitely some resources for you to make those experiences, those life experiences that Teresa was saying that they started with their children when they were young. So thank you again so much, Teresa, for being here. And thank you all for listening in, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Author Audience. I would like to invite you to attend one of my free trainings on 3 proven book writing formulas every nonfiction author needs to know. This is a fun and fast way to write a nonfiction book, but also a book that you're proud of. Plus, I will give you 2 free gifts just for attending. No credit card required. First, you'll get my 10 nonfiction book title templates, and you'll also get my ebook titled Brilliant Brainstorming. It's a 28-page ebook, and both of these bonuses are yours at no charge just for joining us for the training. You can sign up for my free training by going to shelleyhitz.com/formulas. This training and the 2 bonuses are free, and I would love to help you write your next nonfiction book.